an end to royal drama as Netflix airs its final episodes of The Crown.
The second part of season 6 will feature Harry's controversial costume choices, the blossoming, try saying that, romance between William and Kate, and the Golden Jubilee celebrations.
Now is the time.
This is what we expect to be the longest-serving monarch in history. People will want to celebrate your reign and mark the end of an era.
But what about the life I put aside? The woman I put aside when I became queen?
Well, joining us now is someone that has been gripped by the programme, not always for positive reasons, but host of the To Die For Daily podcast, Kinsey Schofield, is with us. Kinsey, will you be sad to see the series finally come to an end?
Well, I mean, I almost wore my tiara for you,
Yes.
but...
Oh, put it on, please, put it on. Go on, keep it on.
Okay, you don't have to tell me twice. You don't have to tell me twice. No, I thought I am going to be sad to see it go. It's especially this season, you know, just that I almost teared up with that scene of the Queen. You know, you really, it does make you think. There's an element of voyeurism when you watch the show, and it does make you think about how much the Queen had sacrificed to be a really great leader, because at the end of the day, she was such a magnificent leader, and there was a sense of stability that you felt watching her. And of course, I love King Charles, but I do miss just the softness and the authenticity of Queen Elizabeth.
One of the interesting things, Kins, and I know I'm at that age, but we talked about this some weeks ago. I found, and when my dad was alive, because he worked for the royal family, he was fascinated in watching. I mean, he couldn't believe the first 2 series. It's something we managed to sort of bucket list with him, right? And because he'd been there when you know, when she first became, all those sorts of things. For me, it changed, and I tried to explain this before, when what was on telly I'd seen. So I was all right with history. And I think a lot of people feel like that, because a lot of people at that point go, but I saw that Diana thing. I mean, they do Diana's death, the inquests, university days, they do Princess Margaret's ill health. It's almost like when you've lived through that on television or online or in newspapers, to me, the authenticity goes. And I just want to put my neck on the line because I think she's amazing, because the last part of this show brings all the 3 queens, Imelda Staunton, Olivia Colman and Claire Foy. Biggest mistake the Crown made. They should have aged Claire Foy. She was head and shoulders above. And I'm sorry, Olivia Colman and Imelda Staunton, don't buy them in that role. I thought Claire Foy was world class. Sorry,
well,
really
Claire
do.
said she left. You'll have to ask Nick about this, because I know she has a history in the acting world. But Claire said she left for her own sanity. She said, you know, she couldn't continue to play that same role, and she wanted to challenge herself a little bit more. So I understand there, but this particular season is really focused on William and Catherine, which, just like you said, it's a little hard to digest because we grew up with them. Yeah. We saw Catherine as that young girl coming out of a nightclub, and now she's this woman changing diapers and you know, showing up at baby banks. You know, it is a wild evolution that we've seen with our own eyes. They are very sympathetic towards Prince Harry, and in the context of the show, you understand it. And they do talk about the Nazi uniform. That surprisingly, they don't go in his version of Spare. He says that there was different things happened around that. They don't reference those at all in this season of The Crown. So I think all in all, I'll miss it. It's interesting to see these characters that we can turn on the television and see today. I enjoyed it much more those earlier seasons, but really quality television.
Absolutely. And we see Meg Bellamy, who plays Princess Kate, well, Kate Middleton at the time. It's actually her first ever acting role, or a first professional acting role.
Are you really seething over that?
Oh, absolutely. I've always wanted to play Kate.
Yeah.
But did she do a good job?
Absolutely. I thought so. Yes, the word authenticity comes up again, because she does. She just comes off as a very sweet, innocent girl, and she looks very similar to her. I was curious to see if they were going to be kind to William and Catherine, and I do believe that they were kind to William and Catherine. People are going to watch this and like them and be invested in their journey even more.
Blazer, chinos, good old royal stock, loafers, it's all going on. Kinsey, I mean, I said my bit about Claire Foy. Who was over the 6 seasons, who was your favourite character in terms of who played it and why?
I thought Emma Corrin was so sweet as Princess Diana. Oh, and Josh O'Connor, how hunky is that? That Prince Charles. But I love the way Emma Corrin would go, oh gosh, oh gosh. It just was so cute.
You want an English accent, don't you? Schofield, you so want an English accent. I love it. Can you just say, a very good evening from Los Angeles?
A very good evening from Los Angeles.
Fantastic. One of ours. So you'd recommend people catch it. I'm wondering whether now it's all in the can, right? People should just watch it straight through, binge it from beginning to end.
Yeah. I think
there's no other way to do it. That way, when you forget, it justifies watching it 3 or 4 more times.
I might need to do this with a lot of things in my life because I forget so much. Kinsey, thank you so much. Have a good weekend. We'll speak to you next week, sweet. Thank you.
Soon.
Thank you.